Uh, a middle-aged female presented with a complaint of swelling in the right side of the face, present since birth and gradually increased in size. There is no history of uh, similar lesions elsewhere in the body, no history of seizures, no history of any visual abnormalities, and no history of any cardiac complaints. On examination, there is a single violaceous lesion of 10 into 12 centimeters located over the right side of the face, extending medially up to the midline of the nose and upper lip, laterally up to the border of the cheek, and superiorly up to the frontotemporal region, and inferiorly up to the angle of the mouth. The surface appears smooth in the periocular region, but elevated in the cheek region, and the margins are irregular. Surrounding skin appears normal. On palpation, there is no tenderness, no local raise of temperature. Swelling shows blanching on application of pressure. No palpable thrill present. No on auscultation, no bruit heard of the swelling. And my professional diagnosis is congenital capillary malformation of periauricular and maxillary region on the right side of the face with minimal distortion of the face.
You put in a differential diagnosis also. How do
Sir,
you
my
check for
different
blanching?
sir,
What would be the correct way of checking blanching in this lesion?
uh, uh, with the finger we can apply the pressure, sir, and we can see the discoloration. I mean, paling at the site of pressure area.
The thing is when you put your finger there, the area under the finger is not seen. So it all
Even
depends
surrounding
how
area we
you
can see
refill
blanching, sir.
around the
We
surrounding
can
area. Why should it blanch when
surrounding
there is no pressure?
surrounding
Okay,
area also we can see blanching.
okay. Let us not waste time onto it. But what a dermatologist would do, and what would the correct method is, to take a slide and apply pressure through that slide onto the lesion, right?
Glass type. Yes, sir.
Glass
Yes,
slide.
sir.
Yes. So that would be the correct method of checking whether the lesion blanches or pressure or not, right? Okay. So it, you said congenital capillary malformation of periauricular and maxillary region on the right side of face. Okay, fine. What do you think is the pathology out here? How what are the layers of the skin involved? How deep is it? Besides,
Sir, it
without
is
doing an MRI,
yes. The lesion is confined to dermal region of the skin, sir. This is mainly due to the dilatation of the capillaries due to the absence of a sympathetic influence over the capillaries, which may be responsible for vascular tone. So as it is absent, the capillaries are dilated, and so that is the reason for these capillary malformations.
and what's your differential
And
diagnosis?
the differential diagnosis can be remnant of involuted hemangioma, sir, and AV malformation and fading capillary stains, sir.
Remnant of
Large
involuted hemangioma.
large
What?
hemangiomas can leave a lesion may leave a lesion like this, sir.
Then how will you differentiate between the two?
Uh, uh, there are hemangiomas. Uh, in ultrasound, we can uh, differentiate, sir.
How can
Uh,
different? I didn't get it. Again.
hemangiomas, they start involuting by the age of 10 years, sir. But this capillary malformation, they grow till the age of adolescence, sir. So,
No, no. How will you differentiate now when this patient has presented whether it is a congenital capillary malformation or is it a remnant of involuted hemangioma? How will you differentiate between the two?
so capillary malformation, they follow the trigeminal nerve distribution, sir. This is periauricular and maxillary region distribution, and they are confined to
So,
midline, sir. They do not cross the midline, but
okay.
whereas the
This is in
hemangiomas they
favor
can
of
be segment.
got your point. So this is one point which is in favor of a for capillary
Yes,
malformation. Any other things?
uh,
You have the patient. You have asked the history.
yes,
My reason of asking is why do you think? Why did you consider this as a part of differential diagnosis, the remnant of an involuted hemangioma? Do you do you get any history which tells you suggests you that it was a hemangioma? Do you get any
uh,
history which tells you that it is
yes,
in
both the
regressing
lesions
in
may
size?
present from the time of birth, sir. Both the lesions can present from the time of birth.
Hmm, fine. But do you
And
get a history that this swelling has decreased in size? Do you see
no,
anything on the examinations to tell you that yes, it is involuting?
no, in history there is no regression of the lesion, sir. So that is in favor of capillary malformation.
Because yeah, because I would not consider a remnant of involuted hemangioma in this particular situation. I wouldn't put it
Yes.
in a differential diagnosis because of so many factors which are against it. Okay. Second differential diagnosis, AV malformation.
Yes, yes. Capillary
How will you
malformations. Uh, some syndromes, capillary malformation is associated with AV malformations. So the underlying AV malformation may be present. Uh,
and the third is fading capillary stain. What is that?
it is
What is this fading capillary stain? What is this diagnosis?
this is one of the stains that are seen in newborns, sir. I mean, in children, congenital lesions, congenital stains, sir, which usually naturally regress, sir. Unlike capillary malformation, which persistent throughout the life. So the
Okay.
similarity in presentation is but they have natural tendency to involute, unlike capillary malformation, which persists throughout the life.
Okay, fine enough. So we persist that it is a congenital capillary malformation. And what are you going to tell this patient? How would you help this patient? She is now getting towards marriageable age.
Yes, um, I would
Before, can she have involvement of the bones also?
yes, sir, she can have involvement of bones, sir, but on history there are no dental occlusal problems. So
Okay. So you feel it
and
is it's not involved. Fine enough.
yes, sir. Uh, I uh, I would like to counsel her, sir, regarding the nature of the lesion. So need for a treatment is, if we do not go for treatment, chances of persistence of the same lesion is present, sir, and increasing, and chance of going to cobblestone appearance, nodularity, chances of nodularity in the next age. So we have to counsel that, and we have to consent regarding treatment, sir.
So can you point wise tell us what are you going to counsel? One, two, three, four, whatever it is. How many points?
Uh, First, I would tell her that it is going to present, it is going to persist, sir. And second, I would like to tell her that it is going to have complications like chances of pyogenic granuloma and eczematic changes or cobblestone changes. And third, I would like to counsel her regarding there is if it persists, there is a chances of soft tissue overgrowth and bony overgrowth, chances are there.
Now, after her growing period is over.
Yes, yes, sir. Soft.
Okay, not likely. So what will you do? You have counseled the patient.
I, I would like, even though through history we have ruled out the Strug-Weber syndrome, sir, there may be association. So I would like to investigate to rule out the Strug-Weber syndrome with X-ray skull, sir,
Hmm.
and and ophthalmic examination, fundus examination, and tonometry of the to rule out glaucoma, and also and I will also like to rule out the another where other vascular malformations, sir.
Fine. You have ruled out everything. This is the only thing which is there in the patient.
Yes, yes, and we'll go with the laser treatment with laser
You would like to have which laser?
laser therapy, sir.
Pardon?
Pulsed dye laser is a choice, standard choice for this capillary malformation, sir. For 595 wavelength, sir.
Okay.
We can give at 6 weeks. At 6 weeks apart, we can give the laser treatment, sir. Yeah, until the lesions shows the improvement. If the even with the next settings, if the lesion does not show improvement, that is the endpoint for the laser treatment, sir.
Then what would you do?
This suggests that there is some deep component, as this pulse dye laser can only go up to 2 of the depth of the skin, sir. So we have to go further deep. So we have to add the laser which goes deep than the pulse dye laser, sir. So we can add NDAG laser along with pulse dye laser, sir. Other alternate lasers.
No, so why did you choose pulse dye laser for this patient? There are so many lasers. Why not CO2?
It has a more spursed laser has more, this oxyhemoglobin and deoxyhemoglobin as more receptive for this pulse dye laser wavelength. That's why we have choose this one. The
What do you call these
patho
things?
this
What do you
photothermal
call these
is
things in
effective with this.
laser parlance?
Photothermolysis is more effective with this one, sir.
Hmm. And what are chromophores?
Yes.
What are chromophores?
Uh, they are chromophores is used in photodynamic therapy, sir. They will observe the light uh, and they will dissipate the energy. So porphyrin, hemoporphyrin are the chromophores, sir.
So suppose she gets a, do you expect a full recovery with laser or you expect a somewhat improvement?
So in the periocular region, I can expect recovery, sir. In the cheek region, with where there is an elevation, so the lesion is somewhat deep, and I don't there I don't expect a complete recovery, sir.
Okay. What next?
Uh, I will counsel the patient regarding the preoperative aesthetic outcome and the postoperative aesthetic outcome with excision and full thickness skin grafting, sir.
Mhm. Do you think uh, this is an this is a good option?
Sir, aesthetical, we can, the better option is, can be local if while exercising, we will go with stages, sir, according to the aesthetic units. So if we are going inside, uh, uh, the zones involved are less, confined to two zones, we can go with the local flaps, sir.
Which local flap? She has
Cervicofacial local
involvement
flap.
of the on one's. She has involvement of the upper lip. She has involvement of the cheek. She has rest I can't see because it's a frontal view, but she has involvement of the nearly the right. Uh, which nerve does it correspond to?
My ophthalmic and maxillary nerves, trigeminal
And
maxillary branches of sensory branches.
okay, so she has got a. I mean, if you compare right now, the difference between the right and the left side, except that the right is more violaceous, it is the color match is not very bad, I would say. It is apparent. But if you put a skin graft over it, how would be the color match and how would be the expressions of this patient? And of course, the touch part of it, the sensory part of it.
Uh, for skin, full thickness skin graft color match will be similar, sir, but the expression will be affected, sir.
Hmm?
So if you want, then we
Full
can go with
thickness for the no, so full thickness for the whole of the cheek.
no,
Will so
in
full
stages we
thickness.
if we can, uh, and if we are going with limited stages, we opt for thick split thickness skin grafting, sir.
I think if you do so, I don't know whether others present in this would agree or not. I think the patient will do more harm to the patient than good by skin grafting it.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Low,
So my personal view would be never skin grafted, never skin grafted because you can't restore the expressions, color match, whatever you do, even in a full thickness skin graft, color match is likely to vary. Of course, with the partial thickness skin graft, the contrast is very high. But even with the full thickness, the contrast between the right and the left side is going to be not the same and may not be better than what she has right now. It may be a little hyperbole, but the difference will be apparent. Then the junctional lines, they'll be visible. The chances of hypertrophy in between, lots of things. So nobody would think of putting a skin graft in such a lesion, which is uh, which is likely to give a far inferior result than the disease itself. Right. So that's the outlook. What you can do,
facial.
yeah, what you can do is after a PDL, I agree 100% with you that a pulse dye laser is the best option suited for this purpose. And whatever uh, benefit you get out of that pulse dye laser, and if you reach an end point, and if he still is to use some sort of ask the patient to use some sort of a camouflage onto it.
Yes.
Lots of camouflage creams are available where we can use the tone and try to match it with the opposite side. My approach would be that way, to do a PDL, and if the lesion persists and the difference persists, which is likely to be, or it may even be patchy, because the benefit of laser at certain areas may be better as compared to benefit where there is a deeper component also to it. So it may be patchy also. It may not be a homogeneous like it is more or less homogeneous right now. So for that, I would suggest to use a derma color, or these sort of
Yes.
devices, so that she can use it as a makeup, and then move around in the society. Uh, let's have the opinion of the others also. Yeah.
Ashish, sir.
Uh,
What
See,
to add
I
some?
just still want how you excluded Sturge-Weber syndrome in this. What are the component of Sturge-Weber syndrome?
In Sturge-Weber syndrome, we will have
Hmm.
leptomeningeal angioma, sir, and
So how you and
choroidal vessel abnormalities, sir. So
and
I yeah, glauco, and this port vein stain, capillary malformation. So it's a triad of this
see
capillary
why
malformation.
I asked this question, because why you said this time glaucoma and again hesitated. So what are the chances in this patient involvement of leptomeninges?
Uh, from the history, there are no seizures and any from the childhood, sir. That's why,
So I
and
what was
any
my
of
question is what you think whether
chances
in
are
this patient chances there
yes,
glaucoma chances and leptomeningeal involvement,
yes,
because
sir.
conversion is not there. I agree, but
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
what are the chances? Which patient you expect there will be leptomeningeal involvement or
So as there is
glaucoma?
involvement of both ophthalmic and maxillary distribution, the chances of association is high, sir.
So
Struggle.
this patient, if you really look into that, needs a very proper investigation, at least eye examination. There's no, I'll not say MRI, you should do it, because if convulsion is not there, you're not going to do anything. But she needs a very proper, and you can't exclude in this patient a Sturge-Weber syndrome. I was really, your DD, differential diagnosis was very, why you think AVM in this?
Um, uh,
Hmm.
even and arterial malformations in small vessels can also present like this lesions, sir. I not
Which see, like again, then you have to go to mixed malformations. You are not talking about AVM alone.
it's
Everyone is talking about ISWA.
associated.
If you go by ISWA, then you have to go for mixed malformations.
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See where
Capillary
the port wine stain is associated with AVM. Which syndrome you are thinking of?
uh, Park-Weber syndrome, sir.
Park-Weber syndrome. What is Park-Weber syndrome?
Uh, uh, it is it is mainly seen in the extremities, sir. It is associated with enlargement of the limb with AV malformations, and on the superficial side, we will have capillary malformations, sir.
In Park-Weber syndrome. Okay.
Yes, yes. And
Okay.
another syndrome,
Uh,
even Klippel-Trenaunay syndrome, also we can see both three
see.
capillary,
Uh,
lymphatic, and venous
So
malformations.
okay, now you are asking. So what's the difference between triple tretinoin and Park-Weber? You are repeating same thing.
Yes, in Krippel-Trenaunay syndrome, it is mostly seen in extremities, and the extremities we
And
will have
Park-Weber also you said
yes, sir. In this Krippel-Trenaunay, the fingers will be we can see syndactyly, macrodactyly, those kind of things, sir.
in
Whereas in Park,
triple tretinoin syndactyly, macrodactyly will be there.
malformation of
Okay.
the fingers will be
Okay,
present,
no
sir.
problem. You go and check it, huh? See,
Oh,
huh? We are running short of time. Just I want
okay,
to know about. See, I fully agree with Dr. A.K. Singh that full thickness skin graft should not be option in this. But suppose you want to, from where you want to harvest this full thickness skin graft?
sir. Sir, uh,
So,
uh, uh,
suppose you
post
want
or
to do. I agree with Dr. A.K. Singh it should not be option. But you have
yes,
given option. So from where you are going to harvest the skin graft?
post or and
Post-auricular, this
supraclavicular.
much cheek. You can resurface cheek, full cheek from the supraclavicular, post-auricular.
అయిపోయింది కదా లాస్ట్.
Hmm?
Yes.
Okay, I
We
think that's. I think we should. Thank you. This was nice. You presented well.
okay.
Uh,
Thank you.
Doctor,
Mhm.
hello, doctor. Dr.
Yes, sir.
Durga,
Durga.
see,
Yes, sir.
uh, you said that differential diagnosis of resolving hemangioma, I mean, involuting hemangioma. So instead, because of the pigmentation, can you give any other differential diagnosis? Leave alone there is a small soft tissue involvement in the upper lip part of it. If there is only pigmentation seen, can you think of any other differential diagnosis?
If, any congenital nevi can present like this.
What kind of congenital nevus?
Uh,
Have you heard
sure,
of
sir.
nevus of Ota and Ito?
No, sir. Not.
Nevus of Ota and Ito. One will be involving the cheek, the other will be around the periocular area. So those things can just present like only a pigmentation, just a
Oh,
violaceous, as Professor A.K. Singh said, a violaceous hue will be there, that's all. Okay, leave
okay.
alone the soft tissue part of the upper lip. And
Yes.
you said that you will use flash lamp pulse dye laser, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
PDL. PDL.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What are the vascular lasers which are used?
Uh, vascular lasers, NDR laser we can use, sir. Alexandrite laser is another option.
And NDR, which wavelength you use?
1090, please.
No, 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 it will not work. 532 will work. That too also mostly in the we have a different type of skin, isn't it?
Yes,
Hello.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We have a different type of skin. We have type 4 predominant skin. So this that may not work. 1034, what you have said, maybe. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So,
Okay.
as you said, I mean, there is no second opinion about it. You have to use a flash lamp pulse dye laser. Then, whatever it is, it will be just like if you put a little bit of decoction in a milk, the color will change. So, it gets diluted. So, once it gets diluted, you will have to use a camouflage. So, that will be the
Okay.
best option for this patient.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Thank
what is the mechanism of this laser?
you, sir. Photothermolysis, sir.
Okay. So by which?
The the oxyhemoglobin and the dilated capillaries in this lesion contain more of erythrocytes. Sir. They absorb this oxyhemoglobin and deoxyhemoglobin absorb this light and they release the heat which uh, blocks the capillaries, sir. So they shrink
Oh,
and
yeah. Yeah. You need not wait for 6 weeks. Actually, you can do the second sitting in three
Yeah.
weeks, 3 to 4 weeks time.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh,
We do it after 1 month. Yeah.
okay,
Okay. So, yeah.
okay.
That's it. That's it, sir. Sir, over to you, sir.
Thank
Over to you, sir.
Yeah, we are fortunate to have a, PDL NDI combination synergy laser by the name of Cynosure. Uh,
Sinosure.
and for these lesions, yeah, it gives pretty satisfactory results. I would say that has been our one of the high end and more expensive lasers, which is not readily available at most of the places.
Yes.
I think Kapalkuri,
I think
can
we
we
have
say
covered most of the